Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode from the Hermitcraft server. I know it's been a long time. It's been a while. If you did not see yesterday's Nature's Beauty episode, I talked about it kind of at length as to what my plans are. Basically, to make a very long story short, I got super burned out on vanilla. Just kind of hit a wall. Wasn't enjoying myself. Was feeling like playing vanilla was more of a chore than a pleasure. And I was like, you know what? I don't need to be doing this right now. I've got modded series. I've got other stuff. I kind of needed to step back from vanilla and in some degree kind of from Minecraft for a little bit. Because I was at this point where I was just like super burned out, and it was driving me crazy. So I took a bit of a break from vanilla. I sort of took a break from Minecraft. Like, I was still uploading Minecraft videos, but I was playing a lot less Minecraft than I normally do. So I guess you could say I took a break from Minecraft. I mean, it all depends on how you look at it. But basically, I'm refreshed now. I'm feeling a bit better. I still don't know exactly like what I want to do in Hermitcraft, because, and I think part of the reason that this burnout happened was because of like what's actually left to do this season. Because if we look like, so if we fly up here and we look at the castle. Here's what's actually left to do with the castle. I need to pave all of this grass and turn it into this concrete mix. I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this hill, probably pave that or turn it into a rock formation. I need to build walls. Like, it's all just super grindy nonsense. It's hours and hours of just grindy stuff that frankly, I don't think will make very good video content because, you know, like I will say, first of all, right off the bat, today's episode, it's my first episode back in like, I think almost a month. Today's episode is going to be a talkie episode if you hadn't already kind of figured that out. But yeah, basically, I can get away with doing that kind of stuff in a talkie episode here and there. But when you get to, you know, 7 talkie episodes in a row, then it gets a little bit ridiculous. So, like, I don't think I'm going to... I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that really wants to finish the castle and just go at it and do everything I possibly can to finally get it done and finish out. I mean, I probably have... Oh, I don't know, probably 20 to 30 hours of grinding just to do the pavement and all that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know. I don't know exactly. It's really hard to make an estimate of that because some of these ideas, some of this stuff, I'm not really sure like how I want to do it. So that makes it a little bit more hard, a little bit more challenging. But yeah, I mean, challenging, like, as far as getting an estimate of how long it will take. But on the flip side of that, like, there's also a part of me that just really doesn't want to do that. And that's why I haven't been uploading Hermitcraft, is because I log in and I stare at the castle area and I go, what in the world am I going to do with this space? And how can I make this project or what's left of this project fun and enjoyable, not just for me, but for you guys to watch as well? Like, you know, because I want to be having fun as I'm playing this game. I love Minecraft, I really do, but there are some parts of this game that I just see as kind of like tedium, you know? Some people, in fact, some people on Hermitcraft are better at like coping with grind than others. I mean, Cub fans online right now. We remember the obsidian biome from season 4. The guy can grind, you know? TFC, he can grind like crazy. But like I don't enjoy grind. I really don't. It drives me insane. It's one of my least favorite things. In fact, it's probably my least favorite thing about Minecraft is just the amount of grind to accomplish sometimes even like the most basic things. You know, you want to build a house, you got to grind for the resources, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I've been playing games on the second channel. I recently played and finished, actually. I recently finished Far Cry 5, which is just it's a AAA first-person adventure shooter. Not at all family-friendly, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Played it on my second channel, which is meant for those types of games that don't fit here. But as I was recording that, I was just... It was so nice to be able to sit down and record half an hour of video and not have to actually do any grinding. Like, I could get so much done from a gameplay progress per episode type thing if I wanted to in a relatively short amount of time. Like, most Minecraft YouTubers cut out just tons and tons, at least when it comes to like my survival Minecraft. Most people cut out the vast majority of the grinding because, you know, you can only watch someone chop down trees for so long before it gets really, you know, very dry. And the thing is, you know, yes, a good entertainer can make it enjoyable. And I try to do that, but I you know, I admit I'm not someone with the I'm not the funniest person or the most entertaining commentator or whatever to ever, you know, grace the face of YouTube. Like, that's just not me. I'm not a stand-up comedian. I'm not the type of person who can I mean, maybe some people will disagree. Some people really little lag spike there. Some people really like my style of commentary, but you know, I think for the most part, most people who watch my videos for the content of the video, like the gameplay, you know what I mean? To see like how I build a house or how I automate this thing in modded or whatever, right? I think the majority of people who watch me more for my my gameplay than for my commentary. I'm sure there's some people who enjoy my commentary and who watch me primarily for that and will watch, you know, anything I put out. But, you know, I can see the numbers. Like when I do a series on the main channel that isn't Minecraft, like, yeah, people much prefer my gameplay over my commentary, because if it was only my commentary that they cared about, then like the numbers on non-Minecraft games would be significantly higher. But that's a whole nother discussion. Anyway, I think it's just kind of one of those things. But so yeah, I've been, you know, trying to essentially come up with a plan for the remainder of the season, because, I mean, I don't think I'm spilling any state secrets when I say that, you know, season 6 is probably right around the corner. I think people have kind of, for the most part, figured that out right now. We haven't set an exact date as to like when it's going to start, but the writing is on the wall. You know, like Tinfoil Chef has already wrapped up his series. There's a lot of hermits who are burned out. Some people have stopped playing altogether. Some people are wrapping up projects. Like, the writing is on the wall. You guys aren't stupid. You know. You know that season 6 is coming at some point, probably relatively soon. Although I will say, every time somebody asks when season 6 is going to start, we do actually have an official Hermitcraft policy that says that delays the release of season 6 by 1 week. So just so you guys know, all of you who keep asking when season 6 is going to start, it will start exactly 1 week after you stop asking. I'm just throwing that one out there. But anyway. What I'm saying is, like, you guys know that it's coming. It's coming sooner rather than later, although we haven't set an exact date for a number of different reasons. But so basically what I'm saying is, like, I've been trying for almost a month now to kind of come up with, like, a plan. How am I going to finish Hermitcraft Season 5, and I haven't really been able to come up with a good answer to that, and as a result, I've basically not uploaded any Hermitcraft for like a month now, and as a result, I'm now like a month behind where I wanted to be at this point, and like, it's a vicious cycle, you know? You stop playing because you need an idea, or you need a plan, or you're like super burned out or whatever, and then you get frustrated at yourself for not playing because there's sort of like this unwritten obligation that, like, as a YouTuber, I have to upload videos from a certain series. You know, if it's a series like Hermitcraft, there's like this unwritten obligation that people, you know, I'm part of Hermitcraft, people expect me to upload Hermitcraft videos. Like, that's just the way it is. And when I don't upload Hermitcraft videos, for whatever the reason may be, you know, maybe I'm ill, maybe I have technical difficulties, maybe I just don't feel like playing Hermitcraft because I'm not enjoying it at the moment, or like whatever, you know, I get frustrated, just like viewers get frustrated, and then as a result, like, it exacerbates the problem. It just makes it worse and worse and worse, right? Because you're like, you kind of enter like this cycle of, like, I want to say self-loathing, but that's like far too strong a word. You enter like this cycle of frustration. You're frustrated, so you can't play the game, and then because you can't play the game, you get more frustrated. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just one of those things, and it happens. And like, when people are asking all the time, where's Hermitcraft? Where's Kingdoms? Where's this series? Like, I know it's because those people care about those series, and they enjoy seeing those videos, and it's what they look forward to, and, you know, they're interested to know when that stuff is going to be back, because they care. And, oh, excuse me, I have like hold on, one second. Water. Okay, that was needed. I have like a frog in my throat. I've been recording all day, and my voice is starting to give out. But anyway, so yeah, they ask because they care, and you know, it's not something that like, it's not an unreasonable question to ask, you know, like you subscribe to a channel for a certain type of content or a certain series or whatever, and then that series just mysteriously disappears for a while. So then you ask, like, hey, what happened to this series that I like so much? But on the flip side of that, like, that in some ways that kind of like increases the amount of frustration that I have, because I just get mad at myself for not doing those videos, and yeah, it becomes like this whole thing. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So as far as like how the rest of Hermitcraft Season 5 is going to go, I don't know. I'm just going to kind of play it by ear. I'm going to make it up as I go. And, you know, my goal is we're going to get back to regular Hermitcraft videos before the end of the season is done. Hopefully, I will say I haven't really, like, regained my lost inspiration. Like, I'm still not really feeling inspired for the castle, which is why I'm currently tearing this ground up and replacing it with cobble for this episode, because I still haven't really found my inspiration. But one thing I will say is that, like, in the past, when I've gotten super burned out or like super out of ideas or whatever, one of the best things that usually works for me is just start putting down blocks, you know, just start building something, start, you know, making roads or filling in the ground or like whatever. And eventually inspiration finds you. That's usually how it works for me. But we'll see. So what I'm going to try and do is just kind of like sort of just push out videos until I hopefully get inspired. Or until the season ends, whichever comes first. Like I'm gonna like force the videos out. That's my plan. That's my goal, and we'll see if it works. And if it doesn't, well, then, you know, so be it. Sometimes that happens. Maybe that means we'll have a lot of talky episodes before the season is done. I hope not. I hope it doesn't take me long to get my inspiration back. But that's a huge part of why those videos haven't been here. And like, you know, I know there's a lot of people who will just say like, play whatever you want to play. It's totally cool. We don't, you know, but yeah, but at the same time, like this is my job. Like I do have an obligation to play this game called Minecraft and create videos on this server called Hermitcraft with all of my awesome friends who are wonderful. And you know what I mean? Like I can only put off recording a Hermitcraft video for so long before it gets to a point where it's like, okay, yeah, all right, you had your reasonable break. You need to get back to it. Like this is, you know, it crosses the line into like irresponsibility. And I can't at this point, like in good conscience, continue to go without making vanilla videos. It's been almost a month. Like that's a reasonable break, I think. And a lot of people. Thunder. Okay, so apparently it's going to start thunderstorming here. Lovely. Anyway, you guys might have actually been able to hear that one. That was really loud. Caught me by surprise. Anyway, so yeah, like a lot of people when they're asking, you know, where's Kingdoms, where's Hermitcraft, etc., they don't always think about just how many hours I have put into Minecraft over the last 3.5 years. Like, I genuinely am like 100% sure that Minecraft is without a doubt the game that I've played more than any other in my entire life. And I have been a gamer almost my entire life. Like, I have thousands of hours into vanilla at this point, and thousands more into modded. And even I need a break sometimes. Like, that's just the reality of it. You know, I wish I could say that I could just play nothing but Minecraft all day for the rest of my life and be happy, but I can't. I would lose my mind if I just played that much Minecraft every day forever. Like, even I need a break sometimes. You know, sometimes you just gotta step back for a little while and say, like, okay, I'm gonna do something for me. I'm going to, you know, play something just for me. Just on my own. And that's kind of what I've been doing, actually. I got some funny story. My wife, for those of you who don't know this, my wife works in the dairy industry. She works with dairy cows. And she works with her sister, and she is a dairy cattle photographer, essentially. Basically, they go around the United States, and they travel to farms, and they travel to, like, county fairs and stuff like that, and they take pictures of dairy cattle for marketing purposes, because that's like a big thing in the dairy industry is like selling and breeding the best dairy cows to get better dairy cows through like selective breeding and all that, you know. And so there's like magazines and stuff, you know, like some people would look at like a magazine of like collector cars. There are farmers who look at like magazines of prize dairy cattle, you know, and someone has to take the pictures of those. So that is what my wife does. She and her sister travel around the U.S. and take pictures of cows. And I will also say that if you didn't know that that was actually a job, don't feel bad, because I totally didn't know that was a job. I grew up in rural Wisconsin, and I did not know that that was a job until I met my wife. So if you weren't aware that that's actually a thing that people do for a living, don't be floored by that. Don't be surprised. I was in the same boat. But anyway, so if you don't know, that's what she does. And she went on a business trip and came back, and they had gone to visit, what's the name of the place? Magnolia? It's the place owned by the people on the Home and Garden television network that my wife watches all the time. It's in like Waco, Texas or something like that. But anyway, she went to this place and she got just a whole bunch of souvenirs, tons of souvenirs, and some of them not really useful. Some of them are really like true just souvenirs, pretty things to look at, but some of them were actually like practical stuff too. So, you know, it was kind of, you know, stuff like coffee cups and placemats and, you know, things like that, things that will actually get used in our household. But she ended up spending like a couple $100 on all this different stuff. So she came back and I said, well, honey, since you got all these souvenirs, like it's perfectly reasonable for me to buy like a PlayStation 4, right? And she said, yeah, sure. So, so first of all, A, that's one of the reasons I love my wife. B, I now own a PlayStation 4 as of a couple weeks ago. Probably more than that. Probably like a month and a half, 2 months ago. I don't know. It was, it's been a little while now. But I ordered a PlayStation 4. I played through all of God of War. I played through all of Horizon Zero Dawn. And then I started playing The Witcher, after which I reminded myself, why did I buy The Witcher on PlayStation 4 when I already own it on PC? Because I got it for free when I purchased my computer. And then I stopped playing The Witcher because I own it on PC. Hashtag PC Master Race. And yeah, that was basically where I was like, okay, well, now what do I play? Because those were basically all the games that I owned for PlayStation, or that I purchased for PlayStation, with the exception of Bloodborne, but that's going to be potentially a series on the second channel. I don't know. Maybe maybe not. I make no promises, but we'll see. My first playthrough of Bloodborne could be very interesting. As someone who really didn't even play Dark Souls extensively. But point is, I eventually decided to get Monster Hunter World because I'd heard like all these good things about it, and I was looking for a game that was very, that was good, and that was the game that I could just kind of like sit down and plop down on the couch and relax after a lot of stuff was done. Holy thunder, please stop. My friends can hear you, I imagine anyway. But I was just looking for a game that I could kind of like sit down on the couch and play and enjoy, and like Monster Hunter kind of popped up into my mind, and I was like, yeah, sure, I'll try it out. So I got Monster Hunter. And I will be honest, I absolutely fell in love with Monster Hunter. It was my first Monster Hunter game. I know Monster Hunter as like a franchise has been around forever, since like 2004, maybe 2002. I don't know. It's been around a long time. But for the most part, I think most of the games were only released in Japan, if I remember correctly, or something like that. But anyway, so long story short, I know there's a lot of people out there that exist in the world who have been Monster Hunter fans for ages and ages and ages, but I wasn't one of them. This is my first Monster Hunter game, and I thought I'd just kind of give it a try. It looked kind of interesting. I've always enjoyed like third-person, kind of action RPGs in the style of like Zelda or Kingdoms of Amalur, or what else would kind of fit that bill? Assassin's Creed, I suppose, would kind of fall into that category as well. I've always enjoyed that style of game. God of War, actually, was kind of part of the reason that I bought it, because I had just finished God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn, and The Witcher, for that matter. Although I didn't actually finish The Witcher, I just played through a good chunk of The Witcher. But anyway, I was looking for another game kind of in that genre, and Monster Hunter kind of popped into my mind, and I tried it out. I watched a couple videos from a couple different people. Excuse me, hiccups. Watched a couple of videos from a couple people, thought, yeah, this looks like it could be interesting, and I tried it out, and now, like a couple weeks later, I have, well, probably more than a couple weeks, but a relatively short time later, I've got hundreds of hours in it. I love it. It's amazing, and I am anxiously awaiting the PC release, at which point I'm probably going to do videos on it, honestly. Like, that's how much I fell in love with this game. But my takeaway from that long-winded little story is that sometimes you just kind of have to, like, do things for yourself, right? Like, sometimes you need to just be able to say, okay, this is a game that I'm going to play just for me, and that I'm going to enjoy, and I don't really care if people don't have an interest in it, or if my wife doesn't care, or like, or whatever. Like, sometimes I just need to like take a break and do something for myself, and Monster Hunter World, for the record, Monster Hunter World has kind of become that for me. Like, I've been playing a lot of Monster Hunter. I'm still playing a lot of Monster Hunter on PS4. I'm enjoying it immensely. I played primarily with the bow. That was like my main weapon, because I had just come off of Horizon Zero Dawn. And when you play the bow as your main weapon in Monster Hunter, like, the combat plays fairly similarly to Horizon Zero Dawn. So at first it was kind of like the only weapon that clicked for me, if that makes sense. Like, it was the only weapon where I was like, I understand how this works. I can do this. Because I'm not exceptionally good at, like, video game combat. You'll never see me entering professional esports, you know? That is not me. Like, I'm the long combos and things like that, and like the perfect reflex timing, and you know, all the kind of things that are required to be like insanely good professional pro level esport player. Like, that's just not me. So I needed to find a weapon that was very, like, simple, very simplistic, right? Like, something I could understand, something that didn't have a lot of complicated mechanics and a bunch of lengthy combos to learn and, like, all this kind of stuff. And for me, bow kind of fit the bill, and I understood it. And I was like, this is really fun. And I've certainly gotten, I wouldn't say I'm, like, incredible with the bow, but I'm pretty good with the bow in Monster Hunter. It's kind of become my main weapon. But then recently, I also started playing with just the basic short sword and shield, and I've kind of fallen in love with that weapon too. So that's kind of approaching that same status of like being a weapon that I could see myself using often. And you know, there's so many. If you're not familiar with Monster Hunter, there's just like an absurd number of weapons. There's like 14 different weapons in the game. And then all of them are broken up into different variations of it. So that, you know, you'll have like the bow, and that's one weapon. But then there are, you know, 25 different bows in the game that do you know, different elemental damage or status effects or like whatever. But this has kind of turned into a let's talk about Monster Hunter episode, which was not my intention when I started, but that's okay. Ultimately, I kind of have just fallen in love with it, and I'm you know, still enjoying it immensely. But it's time to kind of return to being a responsible Minecraft YouTuber and actually making vanilla videos like I'm supposed to. That's ultimately the big takeaway. I know that was like a 15-minute explanation for like a one sentence declarative statement, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like I've now taken my break, and I'm ready to kind of get back to vanilla, even if I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing. As for kingdoms, because I know people are curious about that as well, there are things with kingdoms that are a little... I want to get back to Kingdoms 2, or Kingdoms, well, yeah, I suppose it is Kingdoms 2, because it's Kingdoms Seasons 2, or Season 2, but it's, I meant Kingdoms 2 is in, like, T-O-O, as in Kingdoms also. But anyway, a little bit of a, word joke. But, yeah, my point is, I want to get back to Kingdoms as well, sooner rather than later, but there's, like, some weird technical stuff with Kingdoms that I need to kind of work out, mostly due to snapshots, and I haven't, admittedly, I haven't checked on them in a little while, in, like, maybe a week, but I was having some technical difficulties with, changing between snapshots and breaking the world, and like that world has been around forever, and I really don't want it to break, and like of course I keep backups, but I also don't want to do 10 episodes and then lose 10 episodes of progress. So yeah, we'll see what happens with Kingdoms. I mean, I've said it many times. Kingdoms, and for that matter Hermitcraft, will never truly go away on this channel. They might go on break. They might even go on break for an extended period of time, like a month. But they will never truly disappear forever. There will always be another Kingdoms or Hermitcraft episode coming down the road, even if it doesn't come necessarily right when you want it to. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of where it's at. I've been, you know, kind of on a vanilla break in some ways, on a little bit of a Minecraft break. Not so much not playing Minecraft at all, because, you know, I have been playing Nature's Beauty, which is, to be honest, if you haven't looked at Nature's Beauty and you're like, well, I only watch vanilla, you should really try Nature's Beauty, because it's not quite vanilla, but it's really close to vanilla. Like, it's about as close to vanilla as you can get without actually being vanilla. So if you have like a vanilla craving, and you haven't watched any of Nature's Beauty yet, I highly encourage you to do so, because it might just, it might scratch that itch for you, if you know what I mean. Like I think it has a very vanilla feel to it without quite actually being there. It's a vanilla plus mod pack that I made myself, which means basically it's a mod pack that doesn't stray too far from vanilla, but mostly just adds some kind of like quality of life stuff, natural beauty to the world, more reasons to, things to explore, more passive mobs, stuff like that. But I've been playing that. I also finished FTB Pyramid Reborn. Oh, actually, that hasn't come out yet. Spoilers! In today's FTB Pyramid Reborn episode, I finished the series. I don't think that's really going to be that much of a spoiler for anyone who's watching it, because we've been kind of closing down to the end of that series for a while. That was like a quest-based mod pack that, you have certain objectives to complete, and once they're complete, then you've, completed the pack, and I did. So, I haven't entirely stopped playing Minecraft for a month, but I've certainly played a lot less Minecraft over the last month or so. And I think that's been really good for, my sanity. I think I kind of needed that. So, anyway, I'm back now. Life is good. I still don't know what I'm doing on Hermitcraft, but we're doing something. I'm going to push videos out, whether I want to or not. They may end up being talky episodes, but at least there will be Hermitcraft videos of some sort. So, yeah. But guys, I have rambled long enough for this episode. So, I'm going to call this one here. My friends, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. If you're excited for the return of Hermitcraft, please do leave a like. I appreciate it. I need to know that you like me. Anyway, I need the validation. No, not really. Anyway, links in the description below. Check those out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.